Faced with a hostile nuclear-armed neighbor, South Korea's military has announced the creation of a decapitation unit. In the event of a war, the mission of the Special Task Brigade would be to take out the leadership of North Korea. But this is not South Korea's first attempt at creating a team of possible assassins. In 1968, after a bloody North Korean incursion, South Korea created a top-secret hit squad called Unit 684. The assassination squad was sent to this uninhabited island called Shilmido for years of training. The initial plan was to recruit death row inmates, but in the end, intelligence officers chose 31 civilians from the streets of South Korean cities. In 1970, Yang Dong-soo was a 21-year-old Air Force sergeant sent to Shilmido Island to train Unit 684. The conditions on the island were often brutal. For more than 3 years, unit members weren't allowed to communicate at all with the outside world. Finally, something snapped. On the morning of August 23, 1971, Unit 684 staged a bloody mutiny on this beach. They began killing their trainers one by one. When Yang heard gunfire that morning, he initially thought it was a North Korean attack. But then he says one of his trainees shot him through the neck.
When I woke up, I was bleeding from the neck. Everywhere, trainers like me were being killed by the recruits or running away. It was chaos.
Yang says he dragged himself out onto these rocks and hid, and somehow escaped being murdered. After killing 18 of their trainers, Unit 684 wasn't finished. They made it to the mainland and hijacked a bus to the capital, where 20 members died in clashes with Korean security forces. 4 survived to be later executed. For decades, the brutal story of Shilmido Island was covered up, until the Korean blockbuster movie Shilmido hit screens in 2003. Though it led to a public government investigation, this former Unit 684 trainer claims much of the film is fiction.